This week's podcast is brought to you by Spotify for Creators. Best way to support the Hoots Podcast on every single platform is to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button on YouTube. And most importantly, don't forget to follow us and stream the podcast each and every single week right here on Spotify or Spotify for Creators or anywhere you get your podcast from. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 444 of the Hoots Podcast as we're on the road to episode 500. Yeet. Hey everybody, how's it going? It's yours truly, the nefarious brother Adam, aka Joshie Lopez here on this Friday, December 20th, 2024. I'm sorry if you hear any noise in the background on this week's podcast. There's been a lot of construction work and remodeling stuff that's been going on in my house for the past couple weeks, and they've been here nonstop. So if you hear any ruckus in the background, I apologize in advance for that. But anyways, welcome to episode 444 of the Hoots Podcast, a podcast that we drop each and every single week anywhere you get your podcast from. You can follow me on Twitter if you like at the Hoots Podcast. I'm on Instagram at Joshie Lopez Music. And also another great way to support yours truly is to spread the word about the show. Share the link, the Spotify link, to your friends, and make sure to follow the podcast. It's free of charge. We don't have a Patreon account. I'm not charging you anything to listen to this podcast, and I appreciate the support for all of you who take the time to check out the pod. I really do appreciate it. A couple quick things to mention here before we carry on here for the podcast this week. Episode 450 is right around the corner, and it's going to be January 31st. As we're about to hit this final stretch of the podcast here, January 31st is a very significant day for me, and episode 450 will be significant for me because it'll be exactly 20 years since my nanny passed away. And my nanny, from my mom's side of the family, has had a major impact on my life. A big void, I think, in a lot of ways that I'm still missing to this day. I had a really great relationship with her, and she passed away on January 31st, 2005 of pancreatic cancer. And think about it, for 20 years to go by that fast is just insane to me. But I'm going to try to keep that day a positive one because we are celebrating 450, but it's also a reminder that this journey is about to end soon. And I just want to say again, from the bottom of my heart, everybody, thank you all for rocking with me all these years through all the changes, through new co-hosts, old co-hosts coming back, wherever the situation was. I do appreciate any of you who take the time to listen to this podcast each week. It really has meant a lot to me, and you guys still care. So we're 6 episodes away from episode 450. That'll drop January 31st. That'll be the day before the Royal Rumble, so that'll be pretty cool. And yeah, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited for what 2025 is to come for yours truly from a work standpoint. I think it's going to be a very busy but productive year from the article point of view. And obviously I'm excited for 2025 because I'll be moving out of Chicago. So a lot of stuff to look forward to. And before I get into the meat and the potato of this podcast this week, it's going to be an abbreviated episode. It's probably going to be one of our shortest episodes that we ever done here. But I just want to spend some time here really quick to give a big shout out to my dad who just finished his big line of work this weekend, retired. Ever since I was born, he's been doing his meat delivery route for over 30 years now, and he just finished this week. And to say that I'm proud and happy for him is an understatement, and I don't know anybody in my life that's sacrificed and showed like grit and grinding and like having work ethic more than my dad. And I'm happy for him that he's got himself in a position that he could stop doing this type of work. It's not sustainable for the line of work that he was doing. But for him to, go out on his own terms and to still do it at a young age too it's even more impressive. And I look up to my dad a lot, and I'm very happy for him. So I want to send a big shout out to my dad for his retirement this week from his first work. And yeah, I'm proud of you, Bubba. Congratulations. All right, guys. This is going to be an abbreviated episode. I'm just going to do the Back Porch Q&A segment this week. I think next week we'll have a little longer episode where I can kind of like talk out loud and just go over the year that was of wrestling and kind of stuff to look forward to for this next this Netflix premiere show that's happening on January 6th. With all that being said, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for the Back Porch Q&A segment right here on the Hoots Podcast. Let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Throw up the X for the good brother Chris Zaletta at XSameZaletta24X on the Twitter machine. Let's see what Chris has for us this week. Chris says, "What up, Oos? Here's some questions for the Q&A this week. Favorite match from Saturday night's main event?" Well, it's twofold. My favorite match that I transcribed for transcription purposes was the triple threat match with Gunther, Balor, and Priest. But I also enjoyed the main event with Cody and Kevin Owens. That would probably be my main pick if I had to pick out the matches that I saw. But on that topic, I really did enjoy Saturday night's main event. The last one that they did was in 2008, and I was just beginning high school at that time. So here we are 16 years later, we get to do Saturday night's main event. I'm kind of glad that I could check that off on my checklist of wrestling shows that I could say that I've covered throughout my career of doing these articles and play-by-play articles. It's pretty cool. So I had a really fun time covering the show this past Saturday, and I'm looking forward to the next one in San Antonio on the 25th. That should be pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, but as far as favorite match from this past Saturday, I'll go with Cody and Kevin Owens. Who should be Chelsea Green's first challenger? That's a good question. That's a good. I don't want to repeat myself, but I think the gate maybe either Bayley or Naomi. SmackDown side of the field doesn't have too many baby faces. I don't think you're just gonna throw Bianca going after Chelsea immediately. Who knows? Maybe Piper Niven turns on Chelsea, and Chelsea's a baby face, and Piper's her first opponent. You never know. I'm kind of curious to see how that goes tonight because they haven't announced anything as far as Chelsea being on the show or not, but we'll figure it out. SmackDown was taped last week. I don't do spoilers, so I don't really know what's happening on this show tonight. I know this upcoming Raw was taped as well. There's still a lot of shows to cover, man. I'm seeing all my colleagues are like, "Oh, we're going to take a 2-week vacation. Oh, I'm going to not do a podcast. I'm not going to do articles for the rest of the year." Like, here I am, busting and grinding and putting the work in. With me, there's no breaks. Even if there's a holiday, no breaks. Does Gunther lose the title before WrestleMania? Good question. I'm going to say yeah. The only scenario that I can see making it work where Gunther does not walk into WrestleMania as champion is if he has the title match at the Rumble or he loses the title inside the Elimination Chamber match. That's the only way I can see it. And who knows, maybe this is where we can finally have Brock Lesnar come back and then you get the Gunther-Brock match that everybody's been waiting to see. Have you checked out Snoop and Dre's new album? I have not, Chris. I haven't. I love Snoop Dogg. I love Dr. Dre. Obviously, I'm a mark for 90s hip-hop and R&B, but I haven't had a chance to check it out yet. Does The Rock show up on the Netflix debut? Quick answer to that, yes. More unlikely to return to their current team, Gerard Mayo or Kyle Shanahan? Well, from what I see from afar, it looks like Gerard Mayo is going to have a, a one-hit trick wonder. I don't think he's going to last long. Yeah, I just think this is his one shot at the rodeo, and it did not work out for him, which is unfortunate. Thoughts on Tessa Blanchard's return to TNA? Good for her. I know Tessa brings a lot of controversy to herself, and she certainly has made a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of things for her to mature and grow from. I'm not going to deny that fact. I do think people deserve a second opportunity to rectify the mistakes that they make and still live with their life. What she did and said was not acceptable, but I hope that she's taking some accountability and learned from her mistakes. I've always enjoyed her work in the ring. I enjoyed covering her work when she was in Impact back in the day. And I'm happy to see her on the TV screen. So, good for Tessa. You got a beautiful, still young woman busting her ass and trying to get her career back on track, you know. There was a lot before the whole thing where she got canceled. She was really on a fast track to go into WWE. So we'll see what happens. I know it's controversial. I know a lot of people have their opinions about it, but I think that Tessa, you know, coming back in TNA, it's a good thing. You know, TNA's putting out a good product. They're selling out a lot more shows. There's a buzz with the TNA brand. I wish I could enjoy it and cover it, but you know, I'm not covering shows for free anymore. So, who do you think will turn heel first, Julia or Stephanie Vaquer? I'm gonna go with Julia. I don't have an exact reason why. That's just my hunch feeling that Julia would turn first more than Stephanie Vaquer. By the way, shout out to Stephanie Vaquer. I think if you asked me, like from a waterfall point of view, like Stephanie Vaquer is probably the sexiest woman on the entire WWE right now. Holy moly, man. It's like restaurant quality, pal. All right, let's go to the next question. Do you think Drew will get involved in the solo Roman match? Is Drew going to go through the bloodline? That's a lot of questions, you know. Drew McIntyre is still obsessed with getting revenge on Roman Reigns in the bloodline. You know, I'm not seeing a lot of people talk about this, but don't be surprised if it's something where Drew McIntyre costs Roman Reigns the Royal Rumble, and Drew McIntyre is doing a favor for The Rock. Hear me out. The Rock pays Drew McIntyre to go after and take out Roman Reigns. Hear me out. I think it could work. I do think Drew will either cost Roman the Ula Fala or will cost Roman the Royal Rumble. That's how I see it. If The Rock is not going to wrestle at WrestleMania, I think Roman Reigns is going to fight either CM Punk or Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania. That's my guess. Which match would you have main event the Netflix debut? Punk and Rollins or Roman and Solo? Punk and Rollins, and it's not even close. Yeah, I'll go Punk Rollins every single day of the week. I'm looking forward to it. I love their promo on Raw this Monday for Boston. The little press conference kickoff thing that they did at the headquarters on Wednesday was pretty cool. And I'm very excited for this Netflix debut. It's going to be pretty dope. But on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to put a ribbon on the bow for this week's edition of the Hoots Podcast. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at the Hoots Podcast or Joshie Lopez Music. Make sure to follow on with my transcript work. I do play-by-play articles for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT each and every single week. So you can check it out from there. And PLEs too. I can't forget that. So if you ever want to check out my work, go to WrestlingHeadlines.com or the ProWrestlingTranscriptions.com. And besides that, it's my life is like construction noise and cop cars. It just doesn't stop. Don't forget to hit the like button and smash the subscribe button on YouTube. We appreciate the support from each and every single one of you who do listen to the pod every single week. I do appreciate it. And also, I wanted to mention really quick, never forget, be the authentic product that is yourself. And remember, nobody dictates the pace of your life but yourself and the man upstairs. I'm Joshie. This has been episode 443 of the Hoots Podcast. No, my bad. Episode 444 of the Hoots Podcast. As the road to episode 450 continues and the road to episode 500 continues. I love y'all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm Joshie. We'll talk to you next week. And happy holidays, Oos. Yeet.
Bye-bye, bitch.